Hey everyone, how's it going? So today Sony decided to drop the Morbius trailer and I watched it and I have quite a few things to say about it. One, is Tobey Maguire Spider-Man in this universe? And or two, is this connected to the MCU? What the hell's going on here? Now, to give my initial reaction to the trailer, I mean, the beginning part I do really like. You see him much younger. And just the way the buildings look, they're older like buildings. I do like that you're getting an origin story like this, and he does have some type of rare blood disease, I'm guessing. He's been suffering from this his whole entire life, and I believe he is a scientist, and he's trying to find a cure. So that's, that's a pretty basic setup, I guess, for Morbius, and that works. I have no complaints there. It works. Like, you can do that with that character. And overall, Jared Leto's look for Morbius, I don't really have an issue with. I really don't. Like, would I prefer Joaquin Phoenix to play Morbius? I kind of would, but this is fine. Like, him playing Morbius isn't as bad as when he was playing Joker. When I first saw him as Joker, I was like, what? This here, it's fine. Like, seeing him as Morbius, he looks the part, I guess. Like, overall, I don't really have any issues there. I want to see his actual performance in the movie, and then I guess in my review for the movie, I can actually judge it then, right? And you see him really going through a lot of stuff. He seems to be pretty desperate to actually survive. You actually see a shot pretty early on of this bat, I guess, pinned to, I'm no scientist, so I don't know what they're doing here, but you do see a bat here, and then later on, he's at this cave, and he has his hand cut open, and he has it pointed at this cave, and so obviously, bats, for some reason, they'll probably discuss it more in depth in the movie, but there's some kind of significance with the bat, and that's why he ends up going there. It's not like he just randomly goes to a bat cave. It's like, no, there's something genetically that he needs from bats, and he wasn't getting it from just like one bat. And so he was like, you know what, screw it, let's just go to a cave. I guess there was just too many, and that's how he becomes Morbius, right? Now, I should say overall that the Morbius story, I think, could work a lot better than the Venom story. And the reason why I say that is because you're supposed to feel very bad for Morbius, right? With Venom, I mean, maybe in some sense, but he is more of a villain. Morbius is a villain, but he's a tragic character. You can make him a lead character, more so than Venom. And so I think this movie, just based off this trailer and giving my initial reaction, I actually feel a lot better watching this movie than I did with Venom. Although Venom had a really cool trailer too, so we'll see with that. I do like his overall look though. Like, you get this shot here of him later on, and I mean, he looks like a vampire. He looks like Morbius. This is just one angle though. We'll have to see what his actual look is in the movie when he doesn't have that expression, when he's just like plain face or whatever. It could be a little off-putting then. I mean, we'll see. But the trailer so far with what they gave me in terms of Michael Morbius, I'm actually on board with. I really am fine with. I wasn't going to check out this movie before, but this trailer has got me on board. And it's just for the Michael Morbius part. It's not for all the Spider-Man stuff, which is what I want to talk about. Is Tobey Maguire Spider-Man in this movie? Because we have this shot here in the trailer, and this right here is Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man suit. Now, it's from the PS4 game, and it's flipped, but if you actually go look at the original image, I'm sure it's out there somewhere on the internet, it's the exact image. And so this for sure confirms that this isn't Tom Holland's Spider-Man, obviously. They couldn't really do that, but this is Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. The image is flipped, it's from a game. I don't know if that really means anything. Just the suit overall, the person wearing that's Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. So does this mean that he is actually in this universe? I mean, I would say as of now, more so than Tom Holland, for sure. And there's even something at the end of the trailer that I also think confirms that it is definitely more Tobey Maguire Spider-Man than Tom Holland's Spider-Man, but we'll talk about that in a second. I just don't understand why they would use this image here. Because obviously this is going to confuse a ton of people. Like, is Spider-Man in this movie? Is Spider-Man in this world? What Spider-Man is this? And I mean, I guess actually we'll talk about the Michael Keaton thing now, just because I do want to relate it with that. At the end of the trailer, we see Michael Keaton, and obviously in the Spider-Man MCU world or whatever, he played Vulture, right? What's also hilarious is that he played Batman and Jared Leto played Joker, so we kind of have Batman and Joker together again anyways. Michael Keaton is at the end, and it's the last shot of the trailer. It's literally the last shot of the trailer, and usually when you do something like that, if you're working on a trailer, that's the last thing that's going to be in your head. So when we watched this trailer, we saw all this stuff with Michael Morbius, and then we saw him at the end basically saying, welcome to the Sinister Six. I know he didn't say that, but still. But apparently he's playing a character named Dr. Parker, which is even more confusing just based off what I've looked up online and what people are saying too. So that means this isn't the Vulture. but you have the same actor who played the Vulture also playing a character named Dr. Parker. So is this Peter Parker's dad? This trailer just confused the shit out of me. I can't, it's like, is this a part of the MCU or isn't it? I mean, honestly, I'd prefer it to not be a part of the MCU. And I'd prefer it to be Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man because I just prefer that Spider-Man. But I don't care either way. Like, I would prefer it to be at least, to do one of those things. If they're going to do their own standalone Spider-Man story eventually, I mean, I don't know if they even can, but don't do a separate Spider-Man. Like, if anything, bring back Tobey Maguire because I think a lot of people would be super happy with that. Or go to Tom Holland, who is also very, very successful as Spider-Man. I do like him as Spider-Man. But this trailer is just everywhere. Like, I'm sure we're going to find out soon. I'm hoping so anyways. I hope they're not just quiet on this for the next few months, but I'm hoping we get like a definitive answer as to why they had that Spider-Man poster in that movie. Because that part there, I mean, fine. With the Michael Keaton thing, you can get an actor to play any part. But, I mean, it's still weird that you got Michael Keaton to play a role in a Spider-Man type movie when he was a Spider-Man villain in Spider-Man Far From Home? Homecoming, that's what it was. Those titles are so similar. Like, an actor is an actor, I guess, but maybe they don't have to address that part, which I still think they should. But I think overall they got to address the Spider-Man poster because people are going to be asking them that a lot. Is Spider-Man in this universe? And which Spider-Man is it? Is this Tom Holland Spider-Man? Is this a new Spider-Man? Or is this Tobey Maguire Spider-Man? As of now, just because of the image, because it is Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man suit, it's flipped, it's from the game, whatever, I'm going to lean more to that. It's Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. It might not ever be connected, but just based off that image, you can't say it's Tom Holland Spider-Man. Like, you kind of have to take that as a fact, I feel like, with this trailer. This trailer confirms that there is a Spider-Man in this world. He's a murderer. Why is he a murderer? The people here, maybe they don't like him. I'm not exactly sure. You can also kind of relate that to the ending of Far From Home when everyone thought of him as like a murderer or he was unmasked or something. I can't remember exactly what happened there. I'm pretty sure something like that happened with Mysterio. So is this connected to Tom Holland then? It's just so confusing. It's ridiculous. And that's the basic online reaction now. Everyone is just so confused. And no one's talking about the actual Morbius thing. Everyone's talking about either Tobey Maguire, the MCU stuff, and yeah, Michael Keaton at the end, because what the hell is going on here? I do gotta say, I would love Tobey Maguire to come back as Spider-Man. I think in the way that they could do it now, it would be very, very successful. Just because for my generation, I grew up watching Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Like, for me, when I was younger, it was just amazing to see Spider-Man on screen like that. And I think after Spider-Man 3, when I've watched that in the theaters, I remember coming out thinking, wow, that was just depressing. And I didn't care to watch anymore. You had, I mean, spoiler alert, but you had Harry Osborn die. The movie overall left on a very, very dark note, which I think a Spider-Man 4 could have fixed. I hate that trilogy ends that way. And so coming up with a Spider-Man 4 at some point, because I think Sony can do that, right? Because Sony made those movies. I'm pretty sure they can do that. Coming out with a Spider-Man 4, having Tobey Maguire come back and play a Spider-Man in his 40s, that would be amazing because it would be, 15 years later or something like that after Harry Osborn died. We're seeing a much older Peter Parker. And I'm sure, I mean, he's still 40, so he can still fight and do stuff. He has superhuman strength, right? So he's going to be able to actually fight, and he's not going to be this old man who can't do anything, but he'll be older, he'll be more experienced. And I feel like getting into characters like Morbius and all of that, that'd be really interesting to see just his performance or his portrayal as Spider-Man again. You can actually have that universe built up, and then in the future, you can actually do a multiverse. And that is such a, I mean, that's going to be the biggest movie ever, doing a Into the Spider-Verse movie, where you have Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, who's been interacting with Venom, Morbius, and all these other characters, join in some kind of movie with Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I mean, that's going to be gigantic. And they can easily do that. If they want to do a live action Into the Spider-Verse movie, bring Tobey Maguire back. It's as simple as that. You're going to have, you'll have me. You'll have a lot of fans of him, a lot of fans of Tom Holland. If you want to bring Andrew Garfield back, sure, I guess you could do that. They're all kind of different Spider-Mans anyways, but this is how you do it. And so that's why I'm wondering, is that what they're trying to do with this trailer? Having Tobey Maguire's literally Spider-Man suit, it's from a game, so that's kind of why I'm like, it's not from the actual movie. It's like probably rendered for the game, but because it's not an image of Tobey Maguire or whatever, that's why I'm thinking maybe they're just using the image and it's not related at all. But it could be something that's just planted here in this movie with maybe the possibility of that in the future. And I think that would be very, very, very successful. I mean, just look at the Into the Spider-Verse movie. That made a ton of money, right? That was very successful and loved by all fans. Just do that storyline if you want, again. But a live action version, people love that. have it connected a little bit into the MCU and what's going on then and other things, I think that could really work. But yeah, overall, I mean, I really liked the trailer, obviously, but I'm just confused at all this. It does get me excited to think about the idea of Tobey Maguire coming back to play Spider-Man, to do a Into the Spider-Verse thing, multiverse thing in the future. But I am so in denial of that. I don't think it's ever going to be a possibility. I just really don't. I just don't understand why they use this image. I don't know why you have Michael Keaton at the end. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, right here, just looking at this image, there is a Spider-Man in this world, right? Unless this is a thing for the game. Maybe Spider-Man only exists as a game character in this world. I don't know. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. Overall, the trailer got me interested. I'm really confused on that part. But as for all the Michael Morbius stuff, I'm excited to watch this. There's not a lot of movies coming out. Black Widow doesn't look that interesting. There's the Eternals, and the backstory stuff looks interesting, but I have yet to see a trailer. I don't know if I'm going to be checking that out. I might just watch it way later on if it's on Netflix, or I guess Disney Plus probably, right? So this is like the one Marvel movie I'm really excited for this year. Is Venom 2 coming out this year? I don't know if that's coming out this year or next year. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this movie. So post your thoughts down below. Let me know what you guys all think. Do you think Tobey Maguire is a part of this universe? Do you think he's not at all? This is not a reference to him. Do you think it's connected to the MCU with Tom Holland? What the hell do you think is going on here? Post all your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.